What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to yet another video. It is your boy RickyMoto, and today we have a very special car in this video. This over here, guys, is a 2013 Porsche Boxster base, and I gotta say that it kind of has a bit of like a color shifting color in a way, if that makes sense. Right now, in a direct sunlight, it looks like a really nice silver, but when it becomes sunset, this thing starts to glow in this really nice metallic orange, almost like a kind of like a copper kind of color. It's really hard to see on camera, but there is so much depth in the paint color, which is, I mean, it's a Porsche. What do you expect? But yeah, guys, today I wanted to give you guys a small little overview, kind of going through the features of this car and doing a little review, talking about, you know, the quirks and how it feels to drive and why this car is not as bad as people make it seem. The Boxster has always been kind of hated on within like the Porsche community or even car community for being like the broke man's Porsche. I'm not gonna be doing any driving in this video. I'm gonna be saving that for another video. But yeah, I just wanted to walk around, show you guys what this car is equipped with. So right now, this car is fully stock. It's a 2013. It has about 88,000 miles on the dash, which is, you know, pretty average for this kind of age of car. It is a drop top, so, you know, it comes with the sunroof that can open down. We have 20-inch rims over here. These are 235 20s wrapped around the rim, and these are Pirelli P0 summer tires. Carbon ceramic brakes, which are amazing. Not only do they dissipate heat really well, they stop on a dime, and they do kind of squeak a little bit, and that's normal with carbon ceramics. It's pretty surprising to have carbon ceramics on a base model car. You know, there's a lot of sports cars out there that have carbon ceramics, but those are like a really expensive option that you would have to get with like really expensive high-end packages. But this being a base car with carbon ceramics is pretty impressive. Now, the main thing about this car that people dislike is the rear. You know, it kind of looks like a bug, I know. Looks a little funky, especially with the way these taillights are designed. They're very bulby, which kind of kills that sleek look of the car. But to be honest, it's kind of growing on me. And if you pay attention, this taillight actually kind of blends into the body style here with the rear wing, which this is electronically controlled and can open up for a bit more aerodynamics and a bit of flair. We have a dual tip exhaust down here, and the car actually sounds pretty amazing. The motor in this car is mid-mounted, so it's not necessarily in the back like a lot of Porsches. Not only is the car super balanced, but the engine sounds amazing. It's a 2.7 liter flat six. And moving on to the front, this is the part that really shines on all of Porsches. You know, that very signature kind of round, sharp look. It's almost cute in a way with the way these headlights are designed. You know, and it doesn't really look too aged. It's kind of facelifted, you know, from the 2013 models and up. The headlights are a little bit foggy, you know, it definitely needs a bit of a correction. But other than that, that's the exterior. It looks pretty solid. Let's move into the inside and talk about some stuff. As you can see, we have a black out interior in here, all leather. But before we get to that, let's open the frunk and the trunk. Yes, guys, this car has a front and rear. A lot of Porsches only have a frunk, but this one has a back, which is nice. So this makes this car very, you know, commuter friendly and very functional. And as you can see, there's a good amount of space back here. It's absolutely filled to the brim. I have a whole bunch of gear and backpacks and whatever down here. This is where you can access your fluids, and you have a good amount of cargo space back here, which makes this car very usable. In the front over here, all you gotta do is release this latch, and boom, look at that super deep and spacious cabin space down here. That was one of the things that really shocked me about this car, because just from the way the car looks, it looks super tiny and crammed just by looking at it. But the amount of cabin space you get in the front and the rear is honestly amazing. So the interior in here is very driver focused, even down to the door details. Like, the angular design definitely adds to the sportiness. Everything's also super ergonomic in this car, and it just makes sense. Grabbing this handle, my hand is very comfortable, and it just naturally lays here anyway. The door handle here is kind of like this scoop over here, which is really easy to just, you know, boop, open it up. Window controls are over here to adjust your mirrors and open up your windows. And there is also a couple buttons over here that you can set your presets for your seating position. Now, the steering wheel here definitely looks a little bit outdated with this very flat design. Doesn't really have much going on, but you can always retrofit the more modern style Porsche steering wheel onto here. You also get paddle shifters on both sides, which actually work in both ways. So these are basically the same function. It's not like the right one is an upshift and the left one is a downshift. It's actually both in one. So the way the paddles work, which I'm not necessarily a fan of because I like to pull the lever back here in order to upshift, but this car is different. When you pull it, it downshifts, and when you push it forward, it upshifts. So it's a little bit of getting used to. Dash over here, you know, classic look. You have a lot of buttons here, which I do like because, you know, everything's very analog. You know, you have your heated seats. This car also is equipped with cooled seats, you know, if it's hot out, you know, climate control, radio. It comes with, you know, Bluetooth audio and whatnot. Down here, very simple layout. As you can see, we have a nice Boxster engraving right over here in the center. This is for the sunroof. If you want to open up the top, you know, drop top, come on now. We have a very few selection of buttons. We have a sports mode. And if you take it out of sports mode, it's just normal mode. There's no eco, there's no like in-between setting. No suspension adjustment here. Button right below that is traction control if you want to turn that off. And then over here, you have an auto start stop when you're at like traffic lights and whatnot. Can save some fuel, but I mean, it's a Porsche, so I never really use that. And then this is a really cool button that activates the rear wing. When you press it, it'll kind of flip up, which is a nice feature to, you know, give a little bit of style as well as some aerodynamics. The gearbox in here is a PDK. It's also engraved down here as well. The PDK is basically a dual clutch transmission, and dual clutch transmissions are super fast when it shifts, very smooth and very, you know, punchy. Other than that, everything else in the car is very basic. You know, we have these standard seats, which do have some nice bolstering to kind of keep you in place. They do sink down a lot naturally, so you do really feel like you're just glued to the seat. You know, when I get in the car, I just melt into here. Glove box over here, you know, not too much stuff in here. Even these sun visors, when they fold down, they don't really do much because they're so small. So the sun still kind of peeks through in here, and you know, you can't actually open this part and fold it out like you would with a lot of cars. The cup holders over here are actually integrated really well. It kind of reminds me of like E90 BMWs. You just push this trim over here and it activates this little hatch that has these little cup holders hidden inside here. So if you just push these little buttons like so, these cup holders will swing out, very similar to the E90 BMW. The back here doesn't have any seats, and it's literally just a wall. You know, there's nothing behind anymore. It's not like you can fold these seats down and sit someone in the back or put anything in the back, because this is literally where the motor is. This car just feels very much so just car, you know, like you don't get too much with it. It's very simple, very just straightforward. And I gotta say, I've had this car for maybe 2 days now, and I've been really enjoying it. If you guys want to see a more in-depth review about how it feels when you drive, I'll definitely be covering that in another video where I'm actually driving this thing. And these cars are going for, like, depending on the mileage, as low as 20 to 25K. It's a very affordable way to get into a sports style Porsche. You know, the other alternative for an affordable Porsche would be like a Macan, because those, you can get them for like 30K used. But I feel like this car still has a lot of the characteristics of the higher end cars, just toned down a little bit. And you know, that's what you get. You pay for what you get. And I feel like for this car, for the price that it sells for, is not too bad of a bargain. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think of this Porsche Boxster. Is this something that you would ever buy, or would you rather spend extra money to get something a little bit nicer? Or for the same price, would you get a completely different car? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's have a discussion. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, make sure to drop a like and a comment below. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as turning on the post notifications to see when I upload. With that being said, it's been your boy RickyMoto, and I'll see you in our next video. Peace.